This is the Arc'teryx Beta AR hardshell. As such, it is a dedicated hardshell, so this is made for outermost layering. The nice thing about it just being a hardshell rather than being insulated is that you can use it as a 4 seasons jacket. Because it is so thin, it is totally capable of rain protection during the summertime when you don't want a lot of layers underneath. But also, it provides you enough space to layer underneath. I've got just regular synthetic base layer on, and then my Patagonia Nano Puff pullover, and this Monkey Man from Mountain Hardware, and then my hard shell here. And I have plenty of range of motion. I don't feel encumbered at all by the jacket being too filled by my layers. This has Gore-Tex Pro Shell. As I understand it, this is some of the best Gore-Tex on the market, if not the best on the market. And it is pretty solid. I've stuck my arm out of the car at 80 miles per hour. No wind comes through it at all. I've been in some serious rain and snow with even with lots of wind blowing it at me. I've even been under waterfalls and stuff, and it hasn't bled through at all. It breathes super well. Granted, the more layers you have underneath, the less the outer jacket's going to be able to breathe, because those layers, as they're trying to breathe, are going to retain some moisture. But it still does a very good job. I've got these sleeves configured a little bit differently just to show you that this sleeve comes down pretty far, which is nice because it goes totally over your wrist. If it's cold outside, you know, it covers up your glove so it's not coming up and then letting the cold in and your heat out. This is cinchable, so you can get that pretty tight and then it's out of the way. But if you wanted to have your hands a little bit more free, you could roll it up like this, and it would be out of the way for you if it weren't as cold, or if you just needed to do some other types of tasks. These zippers here are taped. All the zippers on the jacket actually are taped, and these pockets here are great. They're higher up off of the waistline, as you can see, because if you're wearing a backpack, it allows you to wear your backpack waist straps without impeding access to the pockets here. These go very high up. They go up to my collarbone. So if you needed to stick a map or a water bottle in there, you could do so comfortably without any problems. It has full-length pit zips that go all the way down so that they can dump heat and help you breathe a little bit easier. And you could either have them oriented up or down, depending on your preference. The zippers on this jacket are great. You can do them one-handed. You don't need to use 2 hands to secure it, which is kind of nice. And zipping it up is actually pretty easy too. You can see it's pretty smooth there. The jacket is very strong. It's made out of almost a single piece of material. That's one reason why the integrity is so strong. In addition to that, their seams have multiple layers of stitching, and what they do is they take the fabric and sew it once, and then they fold it over itself and sew it again, so that the seams are not only extra strong, but that also helps keep water out. The hood is helmet compatible. It's permanently fixed. You cannot remove it unless you were to cut it off. I don't know why you would do that, but so it's very customizable here. You can adjust the height, the tension around this part of your head, and then also this part is for the back, and then you can adjust the front to contour it specifically to your head and to your face. And it's got a little coat hanger here, as most jackets do. You can see how even on the inside of these seams, they're pretty much taped real well. I've been in all sorts of inclement weather with this. I've used it quite a bit, and it's never failed me. I've never had any water come through at all. If you wanted to cinch this down even tighter around your waist, it has these straps right here to do so. And an inner pocket as well for putting a few things. I keep some medical gloves and a rubber band and a CPR mask and some chapstick in here, along with a napkin, a couple other things in there, just, you know, regular everyday things that you might need. But I'm going to show you the waterproofing on this. It's probably due for a minor WDR treatment. I have some spray I'm going to put on it at some point. But I've never washed this in the machine, and for having it for a couple of years now, you can see the water comes off pretty well. and it may look like it's soaking in a little bit, but pretty much it just brushes right off and evaporates quickly or just dries off. If it does go through the top layer a little bit, it definitely doesn't come in the inside layer. One thing that's nice about this as well is that the zipper in the front comes all the way up above your chin. So if you were in some really cold weather or in a lot of wind, or both, then you could protect your chin, and you could be pretty much covered from the storm. And then if you had some sort of mask, you would be really protected. And this visor also is really great. I've been in a lot of rain and it just makes it drip right over. It doesn't get in my face. It never comes down. It's not super stiff, but it's stiff enough to keep it from flopping down on your forehead. Partially because one of the elastic straps goes right through here to cinch this down right here. I was looking at getting an Eddie Bauer First Ascent hardshell before I bought this one, but I just found that it did not fit me as well. It was a lot more baggy than I anticipated. This has a pretty athletic cut, and since I'm a slimmer individual, I like the way that it fits on me better. It's not flopping around, not a lot of loose material, especially if I'm wearing some sort of harness for rappelling or things like that. One other thing I meant to show you was that on the on the elbows, you can see that it kind of pops out a little bit here. That's because they articulated Arc'teryx articulates all their joints very well for maximum range of motion and maximum comfort. And this particular panel right here is even more durable than the regular material for the jacket. So I've been in gravel and in rocks and dirt and all sorts of stuff, and this has not shown any signs of wear after having been through all that. Also, the top back piece is made of that same material, so if you're lying on your back or if you've got backpack straps on, it's not going to wear through the material. I've got just a regular REI rain jacket that was competition with the Patagonia torrent shell at the time, and that one has shown lots of wear from wearing backpacks and just rubbing up against stuff. None of that have I found with this jacket whatsoever. At the time when I got this, price point was around $540 or so. I ended up getting a little bit of a break on it at REI at the time they had a sale. I can't recommend this highly enough. This is definitely a Four Seasons jacket. It's worth the money. Some people say Arc'teryx is overpriced and it's just for the name. Maybe that's true to a certain extent, but you're definitely getting what you're paying for. I see this jacket lasting me for at least 10 years, if not longer. And if anything, if it's starting to get some significant wear 10 years from now, I'll keep it as an extra jacket and buy another one because I've had such great experience with this, and I highly recommend it. I don't think you can go wrong. This is a solid piece of equipment right here, and it'll definitely last you for a good long while.